Frank Drohan was my granduncle, my grandfather's brother. Frank Drohan. He was the eldest son of a family of 7 brothers and 1 sister. The sister died of meningitis when she was 12. His mother would have been Mary Grady, and he was born in Carrick-on-Suir, but her family, the Gradys, they moved from Carrick-on-Suir to Newcastle, which is a Gaeltacht area outside Clonmel there, during the famine. Of all the times, in the 1850s, they moved. And his mother Mary then was born out in the Gaeltacht. But they were back in Carrick again in 1860. They must have moved out of Carrick because things were so bad during the famine. And I think his love for the Irish came from her, because she spent the first about 8 years or so in a Gaeltacht. So she had Irish and English words, if you like. And he set out to learn the language. He went out every time he could out. He cycled out. It was all cycling. He was a very fit man. It was all cycling. He cycled out there and he learned the language. And he set up the Gaelic League here in town. He was totally nationalist. The follow-on from that, of course, was that through the Gaelic League he ended up in the IRB. And through the IRB, then he ended up founding the Volunteers here in Clonmel, and was the officer in command in 1916 when the Rising happened. So that would have been the local connection here. He ended up being arrested in 1916, a few days after the surrender in Dublin, and was sent to England, ended up in Francock, where he met all the other, Terence McSweeney, everybody else. So so he got to know the leaders, if you like, without the British knowing it, if you like. They set up the university, as they call it. It allowed Collins to suss out his men all over the country. He knew who he could rely on, because he had met them in Francock. I knew what they were capable of, what their background was, were they good organisers, could they keep their mouth shut. He was definitely, he was in the right place when he landed there.
The university is right.
The university was right, yeah.
And he came back in here and he took over.
He came back then and he took over again, but then the British came up with this German plot and arrested them all again, exported them this time, and he ended up in Usk, where he damaged his knee playing rounders out in their hours, sus time in the yard or whatever. Wasn't looked after medically. I suppose the British had enough. All their medical people were in France and dealing with what was being sent home. So by the time they got around to sending a medic trainee, I think, out to see him, he said, Jesus, take that off of your knee or you'll end up with no leg. Whatever bandage or thing that they had on it, they had done it wrong. So he was a damaged man when he came home. The flu, the great flu, almost killed him, as it did kill his friend Pierce McCann. Pierce would have been the commander of the tip side, and he was also a TD in the first Dáil. So Frank was grafted into the second Dáil on Pierce's death.